Well, I mean, one of the things that was brought up, the reason why we even talked about this with Michael was that I had an interview with Fred the Hammer Williamson.
Mm.
And Michael, actually, we arranged for him to kind of crash the interview and so forth. And in the interview, Fred was like, Samuel L. Jackson, his movies don't make any money. His movies aren't profitable. And then Michael kind of just sat there and just didn't say anything. And afterwards, he was like, look up who the biggest grossing actors of all time is.
Samuel Jackson ain't the greatest fucking actor out there, but he's making gazillion dollars. Because when they think of 5 roles, they think of Samuel Jackson, Denzel Washington, blah, blah, blah. Maybe 3 or 4 guys, right? But the black audiences in the ghetto don't really give a shit about these guys. Let me tell you. They don't give a shit about Samuel Jackson. They don't give a shit about Denzel. They like guys like him, guys like me, but we ain't getting 20 million a picture or 10 million a picture. We got to fight and scrap and dig our own shit. We got to make ourselves viable by ourselves. They get created. But if a studio brings them in, they just automatically, this is Samuel Jackson movie, right? And how many fucking movies has Samuel Jackson made that made money? I mean, the money that he makes and the money that it costs to make a film, they don't make even, man. They don't make any fucking money. I'm gonna tell you now, those movies don't do shit. Because the budgets are too big, and Samuel Jackson ain't that big of a draw. But to white Hollywood, that's all they know.
Sam Jackson is
$5.7 billion. That's how much his movies have generated.
That. Sam Jackson is one of the few actors whose movies never went to the 99-cent bin.
Never.
There are times when I've seen Wesley Snipes.
Well, actually, there's been a few.
Maybe a few. But for the most part, all of Sam Jackson's movies hit the theaters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, they hit the theaters, but they weren't always great movies.
What my man Patrice O'Neal, late great Patrice O'Neal, one of the greatest comedians of all time, once said on Opie and Anthony, Sam Jackson is the only actor immune to the end of my career movies. Movies that actors have made that are so bad or just they stop being hits that their careers are over. Sam is immune to that. Sam works.
Yeah.
He's never not in a movie. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, like Bruce Willis. Like at the end,
a lot of his shit was straight 99-cent bin.
Right. You can tell that at one point he just stopped turning down scripts. He's like, I'll just take whatever y'all give me.
Yeah. Sam has always been in something that seems to be of either A, quality or something that gets seen by the masses.
Well, still, I mean, his latest project was Nick Fury on Disney Plus, which was great.
Sam's that dude, man.
He's that dude.
But I'm just saying, Denzel is the king.
Okay, so you would put Denzel over Samuel Jackson.
I would say Denzel is Jordan, Sam is LeBron.
Okay. Although some people would argue that LeBron is better than Jordan.
Well, idiots exist.
Okay. The writer's strike. Are you at all affected by this?
No, because I can go do stand-up.
Okay, but I'm saying you got the stand-up. I get that.
Right.
But were there any
I was affected before the strike.
Nobody was hiring you for movies. You've been in an eternal strike this whole time.
Yeah, man, I don't even know what a strike means.
Rex, I actually asked this to Fred Williamson. He said, I don't give a shit. He said, the movies I make, and he actually said it. He said, what was it called? He said it's a financial base or something like that. He has like a certain classification where he's independent and finances his own movies, but he still has to pay something to the Writers Guild, but they give him an exception, and it's sort of a weird, sort of in the middle type of thing. Listen, I'm not a big fan of the strike. I think that there's a lot of bullying going on right now.
I agree. I think it's bullying, and I think it's fucked up.
Yep.
And I think it's, corporate greed.
Yep.
And the little man having to fight for his piece of the pie, which is ridiculous. I've always said, man, I know that in this business, people, when they say the saying, well, it's show business, they put so much emphasis on the show part being more important. I mean, the business part being more important than the show. It's a business. It's show business. But I don't think one is less than the other. If anything, I think one is just as important as the other. Without the show, you have no business. Right. You have no business.
Well, without the business, you have no show.
Well, I think the show comes before the business, doesn't it?
No.
The show is the business.
You need the money to put on the show,
yeah,
right?
You need the money.
You have to put up the upfront money and hope you get it back.
Well, times aren't like they used to be. You don't need the big the big studios nowadays. It helps. I certainly think that's still the best way to go. But nowadays with your phone and with these cameras now, and you can almost do shit yourself.
Well, you can do shit yourself, and you have always been able to do shit yourself. There's always been low budget movies. There's always been like weird movies like Blair Witch Project that was done with camcorders and somehow blew up and made millions of dollars. But if you want to put on a big production, once you get serious about it, it takes a certain amount of money. It takes a certain amount of investment to put it in. You know what I'm saying? Like none of the great movies.
I know, but I don't
with
think
an iPhone.
I don't think the business part should devalue the show part as though it's not as important.
Well, it works hand in hand.
Hand in hand, well, then give it a 50-50. But don't devalue that like somehow one is more important than the other.
You think that's what's happening right now?
Yes, I think that's always what's been trying to happen. Is that, we're the studios, we're the networks, you need us more than we need you. No, just because people want, and I think sometimes that's where you kind of insult the buying public. We want to see quality shit. We want quality actors. And I know last time you and I were here, we got into it a little bit about the whole AI discussion. Yeah. And when I was reading the comments, it was interesting because not like you care or somehow people's opinion is going to sway what you think and feel, but a lot of people were like, Vlad, you're out of your fucking mind. You're not giving enough credit to the buying public. We want quality actors. We want quality work. And an AI computer can't give you that. There's nothing like a human touch.
Yes.
A real human touch.
Yes.